Hey party people, this is Jeremy from Jambalaya Plays Games, and today I'm looking at Escape Tales: The Awakening by Board&Dice. And this is a 1 to 4 player game where players are taking on the role of a father who has lost his wife, and now all he has left is his daughter. And now his daughter suddenly got sick, and she's in a coma, and all of a sudden he's getting desperate, so he found out about somebody else who's done this thing called a ritual and is possibly going to another world, and there's a whole bunch of dark stuff going on here. But this is kind of a puzzle game similar to the vein of some of the escape room type games, but definitely with a darker theme and some interesting mechanics that I kind of can tell you all about, but I can give you an idea of how it plays. So while we do that, you'll come back and see my thoughts and decide if this is the right game for you. I know it's coming out of Essence, so you might want to take a look at this. All right, let's take a look. All right, party people, let's take a look at Escape Tales: The Awakening. This is actually all the components that are right here. There's a lot of game inside these components, so let's just get to it. I'm going to try to be so light on these details. I just want you to see how the mechanics work so you can understand how, if this game is the type of game for you, and we can talk about it in more detail in my final thoughts. But here we go. So you have these location cards, and they basically go one side, other side, and they represent like this world, the other world, or things that are not right in the base. Like this is the basement, so you can see maybe there's two different things going on here, and you have to put your action markers on these rows or columns and in certain areas to figure out what's there. Like if I want to go to that safe, I would put it on there. Well, there's cards in here that have like a layout of the grid, and they tell me what paragraphs to look at. Okay, so as you can see here, if I put it on that B1 right there, I will look up paragraph 51. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But those are pretty easy. You only have 6 of them, by the way. So you do that, you go look through the book. Like there's 160 passages in here. I'm not gonna ruin it, but I just somehow awesomely got to paragraph 51 by accident. It tells me to pick out a card, but it also says it's a riddle card. I'll get back to that, but that's kind of what the story beat is. You read these little paragraphs, and it leads you to specific cards in this deck, and those cards that are in the deck are going to be either clues, they're going to be parts of riddles, they're going to be items. Sometimes you're in rooms where you have to choose certain things because you're going to see some weird kind of setups and things that don't make sense, or you're interacting with the character and there's like a choice there. Boy, I mean, I can't really necessarily say everything that's on there, but for one thing, I can just kind of show this. There is an item, okay? So there's items in the game, and as you can see, there's symbols down at the bottom. Those symbols actually represent different things that you have to pick up. So while you're discovering and moving around and picking up stuff, you'll see these types of things, and once you match them up, there's another paragraph in there, and it kind of leads you to certain solutions, and it helps you unlock the many endings that are in the game. So you got to pay attention to these types of things because they will carry you to a certain part of the story. I should say there are multiple endings in here. I haven't seen all of them, by the way. And I don't know how many there actually are. So whatever. And then you also have these things like, let's say I place here, right here on this board here, this table. I'll look at the table, and it actually will be a clue. I'm not going to show you that. But the most important part is this symbol right here. You see this little symbol right there? It's like a little arc right there. I'm going to go and put that back down. I want to go look at that symbol because in the app, I have that symbol, that same symbol, and what it'll have is a clue, this puzzle right here, and I got to figure out what it is, letters or numbers, and what it will tell me, the app will tell me how many cards contribute to that puzzle. So I may have to look at 5 different cards, and it says 5 game cards and L05. So I know that's a location right here, and then I also know that I need 5 cards. I can also get hints because this game does not want to impede your progress. Now I'm going to turn away from that because I have the solution up, but you can actually have the solution up and go through like 3 hints. So that's it. One thing this game does is it doesn't impede your progress. If you still want to have fun and get through the story, you can. I like that quite a bit. I think that's interesting. You also have exit cards if you just want to not use your actions in this space or in this area. You don't have to, because these are not just free. You don't just get them back. I'll talk about that, but you can get an exit card for certain locations, and you can leave the space and just move forward, and it will tell you where to move and what's the next card. Now let's say you run out of tokens. You've been spending all your time in here, and like my first game I did this. you take these doom cards, and these doom cards have little scripts on them, and basically they're like little things he's telling himself and he's seeing as he goes, and his father's looking around and he's seeing some really weird imagery, and it gets increasingly weirder as he goes deeper, but you get your action tokens back. So this one you'll get 6 back, and sometimes they'll go up and down and things will happen, but these also contribute to the ending of the game. And you got to pay attention to how deep you go into these things, because I mean, it alters how the game plays, and game kind of ends or resolves. So, I mean, overall, that's the whole game. It seems like there's not a lot, but there's a lot of story in here, and there's a lot of interesting decisions, especially with the choice cards. I'm going to leave it there. Let's go ahead and get to my final thoughts. Okay, party people, let's just go ahead and get to my final thoughts here for Escape Tales: The Awakening. Now, I'll be honest with you, this was probably my first most anticipated game of the year. I got an email back in January, I think, when they announced this, January, February, and I was like, ooh, I'm all in on this, and I want to find out more. Then I went to Origins, and I met some of the team from Board&Dice, and I got a chance to see it, and I had a video for it. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I saw it. It's like, okay. And then we got closer to it, and I had a follow-up, and I got a chance to get my hands on this copy beforehand, and wow. I'm impressed. Game night was off the hook when we played this game, because it does have these serious puzzles, and they're not easy. You vets of, you know, these escape room games, you're going to be tested with this one. If you're a solo player, good luck. That's all I can tell you is good luck, okay? Because these puzzles are super smart. You're going to have so many different types of puzzles and things that maybe pull you away from the table and just take you to different areas in your mind. You're going to have the logic stuff, you're going to have the math stuff, you're still going to have the spatial things. It's just going to be a lot of head scratching. But thankfully that app is there, and that app will give you hints, and it will steer you down the right path or give you the solution, and that's fine. You want to have fun in this game. You don't want to be overwhelmed and feel like, oh, I feel stupid, I can't get this. Move forward. You know, they have exit cards for you to get out of that room. What they want you to do is get to the fun, the theme, the choices, and it's there. The theme is there. It is dark. You're going to see one side of the world and the other side of the world. It's very present. You're going to be in there. And these Doom cards are kind of weird. You know they're going to affect something because they're giving you these tokens, and you're like, all right, great, tokens, yes. But you know that they're going to have an effect on the ending. And that's all I'm going to leave you with for that. There are multiple endings, so there's definitely some replay value in here. And there's a lot of puzzles in there. So don't, think of this as just like a bunch of cards. Once you're done, you're done. This is actually a very, very rich in content game. You definitely get some good multiple plays out of this, multiple game nights out of this. And that's why I can highly recommend Escape Tales by The Awakening. And I'll just leave it right there. And that'll end my review. I highly recommend this game. It's coming out at Essen, and it's the right month for that, right timing in the Halloween time. Be a great game night game. And I'll just leave it there. My name is Jeremy from Jambalaya Plays Games and JambalayaPlaysGames.com. You can also catch me on Board Game Revolution. Please feel free to like. Please feel free to subscribe. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and hit me up in the comments. I'll get back to you as fast as possible. Don't be a stranger. Love to see you in the chat and the comments there. And thank you for your time, party people. You have a wonderful day. I hope to help you make an informed decision today about Escape Tales: The Awakening. Take care, party people.